In the heart of Canada's east lies a captivating tale of resilience, heritage, and cultural richness. It is the story of the Acadian people, a vibrant community with roots that stretch back centuries. The Acadian saga unfolds against a backdrop of exploration and colonial rivalry. As European powers clashed over territorial dominance, Acadia became a pawn in the imperial struggle between the French and the British at the height of the age of absolutism. Over the centuries, the Acadians faced immense challenges, yet they refused to allow their heritage to be extinguished. They rebuilt their communities, revived their language and customs, and continue to celebrate their distinct Acadian identity. The remarkable abundance of cod flourishing off the majestic coast of Newfoundland drew the attention of several European monarchies, notably those of the English and the French. In the fateful year of 1534 CE, during the inaugural voyage of the French explorer Jacques Cartier to modern-day Canada, encountered the Mi'kmaq people in the Chaleur Bay, located in Quebec, to stake a French claim to the New World, and potentially Newfoundland's fisheries. It was not until 1604 that the first French colonists, under the visionary guidance of Pierre du Guay de Monts and Samuel de Champlain, finally set foot on the shores of present-day Nova Scotia and New Brunswick. De Monts established a settlement of approximately 80 hardy souls at Ile Sainte-Croix, nestled along the banks of the St. Croix River. However, merciless scourge of scurvy during the brutal winter of 1604 to 1605 claimed the lives of at least 36 men. In the ensuing year, French colonists embarked upon a quest to find a more suitable haven, and thus the resplendent Port Royal was chosen. Alas, the cherished aspirations of Acadia were beset by a series of formidable obstacles. In 1613, the audacious English adventurer Samuel Argall, hailing from the England's Virginia colonies, seized control of Acadia, banishing its French inhabitants in the process. The year 1621 witnessed the disheartening renaming of Acadia to Nova Scotia, New Scotland, as the English government sought to impose its dominion. Furthermore, the Scottish settlers of Sir William Alexander were permitted to settle within Acadia. However, the Treaty of Saint-Germain-en-Laye in 1632 resoundingly decreed the restoration of Acadia to its rightful French masters, effectively curbing Alexander's ambitious expansionist aspirations. The tempestuous rivalry between the French and the English saw Acadia once again switch rulers in 1654. However, through the Treaty of Breda in 1667, Acadia was restored to the French, only to be taken again in 1690 by Sir William Phipps, for it to only again return to France through the Treaty of Ryswick in 1697. Throughout the 1670s, Acadian settlers began expanding throughout Nova Scotia, leading to the establishment of new settlements. The official census in 1671 documented an Acadian population surpassing 400 souls. Substantial population growth saw approximately 1,400 settlers by 1701, 2,500 by 1711, over 10,000 by 1750, and a resolute 13,000 by the year 1755. The War of Spanish Succession, from 1701 to 1713, marked a pivotal moment in the fate of Acadia, as it fell under British rule once and for all. With the signing of the Treaty of Utrecht, the British obtained the territory known as Acadia according to its ancient boundaries. However, conflict arose between France and Britain regarding the definition of these boundaries. The French contended that the territory encompassed only present-day Nova Scotia, while the English claimed that Acadian also encompassed modern-day New Brunswick and Maine. With the loss of Arcadia on the mainland, France concentrated its efforts on developing Ile Saint-Jean, Prince Edward Island, and Ile Royale, Cape Breton Island, which had been largely overlooked until then. Ile Royale became home to a new city, Louisbourg, becoming a bustling trade hub. The year 1745 witnessed a decisive event in the form of the War of the Austrian Succession, during which Louisbourg succumbed to an English expeditionary force. Nonetheless, France regained control over the fortress through the Treaty of Aix-la-Chapelle in 1748. It was in this contentious atmosphere that Britain resolved to firmly establish the Nova Scotian territory as an indisputably British domain. French encroachments on British land resulted in Britain viewing the Acadians as a dangerous, rebellious threat. The British authorities resolved to resolve the Acadian question once and for all. The ultimatum was clear. Failure to pledge an unconditional oath of allegiance to Britain would risk deportation. Dissatisfied with a pledge given by the Acadians reluctantly, Governor Charles Lawrence set in motion the plans for deportation in 1755, forever casting a dark shadow over Acadian history. The Great Upheaval, as it came to be known, extended until 1762, marking 7 years of anguish and suffering for the Acadians. The forced migration of 11,000 people entailed the arduous task of boarding ships destined for English colonies along the eastern seaboard. A fraction managed to seek refuge in Louisiana. Hunger and disease claimed the lives of an unknown number of Acadians during this devastating period, compounded by the tragic sinking of several ships carrying exiles on the treacherous high seas. During this time, the 7 Years' War erupted between France and England, further exacerbating the plight of the Acadians. Both Ile Royale and Ile Saint-Jean, the two French colonies, fell to British forces in 1758, their people also deported. The Treaty of Paris in 1763 brought an ultimate end to French colonial presence in the Maritimes and most of New France, solidifying the irreversible transformation of the region. In 1762, France abandoned the territory of Louisiana and handed it to the Spanish, under the control of the originally French Bourbon monarchy. Though while the territory of Louisiana was large in its geographical size, it was small in its non-indigenous settler population. 7,500 inhabitants, mostly Francophone, made their home along the scarce trading posts down the Mississippi River, with the most notable being that of New Orleans, near the mouth of the river. During the Spanish period, French-speaking immigrants formed a substantial portion of the newcomers arriving in Louisiana. Notably, some 2,000 Acadians fleeing deportation found their home in Louisiana by 1785. The Treaty of San Ildefonso in 1800 restored Louisiana to French possession. However, recognizing the challenges of defending such a vast territory against the English, Napoleon Bonaparte astutely sold Louisiana to the United States in 1803 for a sum of $15 million. By this time, nearly 4,000 Acadians had arrived and settled in Louisiana. The bayous of southern Louisiana allowed the Acadians to rely on hunting, fishing, trapping, and the resources of the Mississippi River Delta. Some of them settled in southwest Louisiana's prairies to raise cattle and grow rice. As the Acadians adapted to their new home, their French language, architecture, music, and cuisine underwent changes. Today, the Cajuns of Louisiana are known for their music, food, and ability to preserve traditions while embracing the present. The Acadian people have endured a turbulent history marked by numerous challenges and adversities, yet their resilience and determination have allowed them to triumph against all odds. With the dawn of the 20th century, the Acadians grew to represent a noteworthy minority in Canada and the U.S. Acadians have actively participated in the economic development of their regions, with thriving industries in fishing, agriculture, forestry, tourism, and the arts. And in the arts, the Acadians have surely made their mark. Acadian writers such as Antonine Maillet and Réjean Roy have gained international recognition for their literary works. Acadian musicians like Edith Butler and Zachary Richard have captivated audiences worldwide with their talent. The Acadian people embody a triumph of resilience, heritage, and cultural preservation. Through their unwavering commitment to preserving their language, traditions, and identity, they have defied adversity and emerged as a testament to the human spirit.